are of their opinion and are not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company, municipality, individual, or anyone or anything.
He's a surgeon. He's a 100-ton boat captain. He's a lieutenant on Seaside Heights Beach Patrol in New Jersey. He's a member of the Coast Guard Auxiliary. He's Dr. Michael Kachmar. Need answers to your medical questions? We have them. Listen in to hear latest on medical topics related to all that and more.
Everyone, hello, this is Dr. Michael Kachmar. Welcome to Scrubbing Up with Dr. Michael Kachmar.
That's right.
We had a little technical difficulty here. Anyway, welcome to our show. Today's date is Saturday. Let's see, today's April the 6th, the year of our Lord, 2024 AD.
2024, that's the future,
Yes.
Mike.
Yes, it is. Jeremy, can you just check on your phone, make sure we're going live? In fact, I'll go up here. We were supposed to be having a live show, and
the sound went down on us just before we started, and we got it fixed just as it started. So
yeah, here it is. So we're streaming. So just to let everybody know, right now we're streaming on all platforms, Rumble, YouTube. Looks like it's all good, and we're all streaming. So anyway, this is a medical professional, political podcast and video podcast. My name is Dr. Michael Kachmar. I'm a board-certified reconstructive foot and ankle surgeon. You can follow me on actually X, which is old X Twitter. I'm under Dr. Kachmar. I was the other day I was called a Russian running dog and some other things. People get nasty.
By whom?
This one, somebody who had like a fist. It looked like a Russian mime, you know. Yeah. What I did is I was referencing Victor Davis Hanson, who's a scholar, written multiple books. He's on Stanford University. He's written books, Dying Citizen, among other things. Well published, been around for years and years, and she called it a pack of lies. And but what I realized is that a lot of these communist, democratic socialist communists, Antifa, people, Black Lives Matter kind of people, they if they can't argue, when you get them caught in a lie or when you are arguing with them, what they do is they go towards personal. They go after you personally. Oh yeah. Start calling you, all kinds of names. I try not to do that in any of the things we do.
Myself, I don't mind.
No, you don't mind. Yeah. So anyway, so I'm Dr. Kachmar again, a board-certified reconstructive foot and ankle surgeon. I work at multiple hospitals right now. I'm recovering from surgery, so we're not doing any surgery at this time. Jeremy, you want to say hello? Introduce yourself.
Hey, everybody. I'm your old pal, Jeremy. You know me.
Yeah. So we got a shout out. Jeremy's son just got accepted to Harvard.
Oh yeah. Amazing news for us. It was quite a surprise, actually.
Right. So he's going to be heading out to Harvard next September, right?
Yeah. Right now he's in Disney wearing his Harvard shirt already.
Wow. Yeah. He's going to get me. Jeremy promised me a hoodie. I want a hoodie from Harvard. I want a hoodie. So I'll go there and and enjoy myself. Yeah. So anyway, so we're going to talk about today. So I want to make this clear to everybody out there with regard to gender. We talked about gender affirming treatment for gender aphoria, and dysphoria, gender dysphoria. And we believe in civil rights for everybody. I don't care what you are, who you are, what your sexual, if you're gay, transgender. Yeah. Everybody should be equal. They should have rights to do whatever they want to do. But I can't do everything I want to do. There's a certain limit to those rights, okay? Yeah. And so with this having men, listen, I don't care. You could change your gender. You could have surgery done. You could take all the hormones. You're still a man. Yeah. I don't care what you say. You're still a man.
This is coming from a medical doctor.
Yeah. I mean, if you do DNA testing on somebody, you're still a man. Yeah. Now, here's the thing. Where I get the rub with all of this is where you have a man competing against a woman. Right. Okay? It's unfair. It's wholly unfair. It doesn't make sense. If you want to have transgender people compete, let them go in a co-ed thing that's already sanctioned, co-ed, which is fine. Yeah. We had co-ed. I played on a co-ed team in college. It was fun. Anybody who could come there, could play. Or you have a sanctioned different subsection of transgender
Right.
athletes. Okay, it's not fair. So now there's laws out there in certain states that are, worded in such a way that supposedly it's the law that you cannot stop these people from competing, a man competing with women.
Yeah.
So up in New York, which is our, crazy world, New York State and New York City, we have an interesting article here. So this is from The Hill. This was 1 day ago. Can you go to my YouTube, my thing? So this is Judge denies New York County executive request to block AG order to reconsider transgender athlete ban. Rescind, excuse me, transgender.
Rescind.
So again, the article is Judge denies New York County executive. So there's somebody requesting to block the AG, the Attorney General's
Rescinding
order
it.
to rescind the transgender athlete ban. So a federal judge on Tuesday denied Nassau County Executive Bruce Blackman, he's a Republican, request to block a cease and desist order issued by New York Attorney General Latifah James. Where do we know her from?
Yeah, I heard her name around the
Democrat.
the bullpen. Yeah,
Demanding
a Democrat.
I've never Blackman
met one of those.
repeal an executive order effectively banning transgender women and girls from competing in female athletic events. Just so when they say transgender woman, for people who don't understand, a transgender woman is really a man.
A man, yeah.
Now, I understand they want to be a woman, that's fine. And they should have all the rights, whatever they want to do. They want to marry, they want to have kids. I would not, they want, but I draw the line here. Now,
but in this case, right?
well, the law.
No, I know. Let's shelf that for a second. That guy who was the swimmer is still into girls. He's had no operation. The only thing he's done is grow his hair out long and put on a woman's swimming outfit and call himself a girl. And this is where I get a little confused and upset because a lot of this can be, a lot of it's fake. A lot of it is. And politicians have enabled these people to go off with abandon.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, maybe the guy believes it. You can't. Here's the thing.
You know that Dylan Mulvaney?
But let's just
another guy who's still into girls, but he never got the operation.
Here's the thing. Don't go down a rabbit hole. I want to focus on the law here. Okay, so I understand what you're saying. I don't know what's in any of these people's heart.
But no, you have to agree, Mike, that you want to talk about the law, but how we got there.
It's people. The people have an opinion. Listen, they may believe that swimmer, male, who he may believe that, but I understand what you're saying. But they may believe that.
I'm just trying to say you can't talk about the one without talking about the other.
Well, listen, they don't in their mind they're not doing anything wrong.
Because a lot of these people are suffering from mental illness.
All right. Well,
that's a big deal for me.
Let me go. Okay, let's hold off on that. That's another discussion for another day. Let me just go here. Okay, because I don't want to get down the words. I understand that, but I want to talk about this, and then you could talk about that. Beckman's executive order, which took effect February 20. You're never going to fix this, Jeremy, if you don't understand the problem.
Well, no, but we're never going to fix it if we don't talk about all the bits.
Right. But you're going to go down. Right. So if you want to talk about they're screwed up, they're messed up, that's just they're going to go tell you go fuck yourself on the other end.
Well, they're going to tell you the other.
No,
too.
They're not. No, because the law is the law. Eventually, you have to follow the
Mike,
law.
The law is the law, but nobody's been following it.
Well, they not all. They are. There are times.
Not really, Mike.
Go shoot somebody. You're going to go to jail.
No. We're talking about transgenderism
All right.
here.
Well, it could change. That's now. That's why I'm trying to bring this out, so we change things. You have to change the law here. Do you know what the law is in New York City for this?
What?
You don't even know. So let me just tell you.
No, I thought you were going to tell me.
No, I'm going to tell. Let me finish up here.
Yeah.
So Beckman's executive order, which took effect February 22nd, denies an individual's gender as defines an individual's gender as biological sex at birth. That's the premise we should be looking at, and requires local athletic teams, leagues, and organizations to expressly designate participation based on members' sex assigned at birth rather than gender identity. There's where the issue is, okay? It should be all about not what you gender identify as, but what your sex at birth was. That's the key. Now, in a news conference, Beckman said the order will not prevent transgender athletes, male or female, from competing in all boys or co-ed leagues. The executive orders restrictions apply to more than 100 public venues. Goes on and on. So here's the thing. James, in March 1st, she had a cease and desist letter, threatened the decisive legal action against the county if Beckman order, which also prevents county-run facilities from hosting sport events that allow transgender girls to participate in accordance with the gender identity, is not rescinded within 5 business days. She's saying here the law is perfectly clear. This is what she's saying now. This is important, and we'll go on you. You cannot discriminate against a person because of their gender identity or expression. We have no room for hate or bigotry in New York City, she said.
Wait, is that the law?
That's what she's saying the law is.
With gender? What
Right.
Say that
She
again?
says, well, listen, she goes, it's clear violation of New York City state human rights law, which makes it illegal for places of public accommodation to discriminate based on sex or gender identity or expression.
The identity was added to that.
Right. It will also impose increased scrutiny on female sport teams by only targeting transgender women and girls, James said. So the law, that's the key. The law here, and it should say
Which protects the guys pretending to be girls swimming.
Right.
That's the problem with this. And that whole extra word that was added to that, or amended to that, identity.
Right.
I don't like that a lot.
Right.
No, and again, that is politicians enabling all of this stuff.
Right. Well, you could put in there. Well, but here's the thing: how do you give people who have a gender identity? They're a woman and they say they're a man.
Well,
you cannot say I don't want to. You can't come in my restaurant. So
no,
they have to.
I
Okay,
understand
so
that.
so then you got to write a law then that doesn't discriminate against them.
Discriminate.
Discriminate. Excuse me.
You
I'm
got
having
it,
a hard
man.
time.
No, you got it. Yeah.
I have my dyslexia is kicking in.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful. We don't want to deny them rights, but here's where I would put an exception to that law and say, except when it comes to competing in sports. Men, listen, I don't care. You're still a man. You're still stronger. You still have. You're way, way stronger. You're faster. And all of those things. It's not fair to the women. So now that's why I'm saying the law here has to be amended or changed. And this is this is crazy. And it goes on and on and on. So it says Beckman executive order has been denounced by top New York Democrats, who control both chambers of the state legislature and the governor's office. The American Civil Liberties Union of New York sued Nassau County last month on behalf of the Long Island roller rebels, a women's flat track roller derby league with at least one transgender member. Listen, people, keep voting for these people. Your daughter is going to lose a scholarship to Harvard, maybe because some guy is going to come in there and beat her up, because he's so much better.
Well,
it's not right.
My son was denied by Princeton, and we found out that Princeton had posted something about referring to white males as entitled, and they just didn't want any white entitled males.
Right.
So
I'm just going to go here. I'm just going to go finish this up here.
White's the new black.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
So here it says, "Wow, we're all the women's. See, we were all the women's liberation folks from my generation. I knew we were cowardly and full of hot air. You could scream at the top of your lungs, admonishing the destruction of women's sports. Why is it only biological men to go to women's sports and not the other way around?" It's a good point.
Yeah, because women have sense.
Right.
This is nonsense.
Right. Well, let me just make a point here. This. You put me back up.
Yeah, you were reading from it.
She has got the agenda with Trump.
Yeah.
These people have their agenda, and I'm not going to attack her. But it goes. Why is it? They're anti-Trump. They're anti-women. I mean, if you're, like I said, if you're a woman in sports, this is not good. This is. Why go? What it's not fair. I swam in college, and
that particular case that you're talking about, there was they made that woman who came in for, it was a tie. They only had one award, okay, and they told her that the transgender needs to hold the trophy.
Yeah,
and
that's
she
bullshit.
and she just stands behind him.
Yeah, no,
even though it was a tie, and she really won.
Yeah, I know, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's gonna. You know what? People vote these people out. Here's what you need to do. First of all, I wouldn't go to New York City. I boycott it. I'm boycotting New York City and Philadelphia.
Okay. F Philadelphia, but
Right. I wouldn't spend a dime
New
there.
York, too.
And these people who live there, don't vote for these people.
Yeah.
You know, she vote her out. These people are crazy, and you know this goes on and on and on. So now we're talking about New York City. Let's keep on going because I used to go there all the time. I go to shows.
Yeah.
I take the ferry. We take the ferry over to New York City. We go 4 or 5 times. I haven't gone. I'm not going to go. I'm not going to spend my hard-earned money.
Well, before COVID, I was getting tickets constantly from the radio stations and the TV guys.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was going to shows. I was taking my mother-in-law,
Right.
and it was great. But now,
No.
since COVID,
in New York City, you get let out. Listen, let's go here. We talk about Latifah James and the policies. Let's go. Go to my video now. Here's another one.
let's go to the video chat.
So this is another one. You know, and you go on and on. These articles are all over the place. 75-year-old granny was severely beaten up by a criminal on parole after getting on an elevator in New York City apartment. So let's go see if we can see
That's not
this.
the first time I've seen something like that. I remember news, watching the news, and they were telling the tale about a man who beat and raped an old woman in her bathrobe or in her robe, in the entryway of her building, and that's just
Let me
that's
make
just disgusting
right.
and sick.
And here's the thing. You know what gets me? I would, back in the day, it was considered such a grievous thing to beat up an old person.
Yeah.
You know what? This guy who beat her up is 38 years old. Why don't he go pick on somebody younger? Because you know why? He'll get the friggin' piss beat out of him.
All these guys only
You know what?
pick on the ones they know they can hit.
And I'll make another thing. If this 75-year-old had a gun in her purse, put one right between his eyes.
Shoot a schmeckle up.
And I tell you what, if I was on a jury, I would not convict her.
Yeah.
I mean, and so let's listen to this. New York City, the parolee who was accused of repeatedly stabbing a great grandmother who was 75 years old inside a Bronx elevator, struck without warning and left the victim in pierced lung. Okay, and let's keep going here. So it is around 11 a.m. Easter Sunday. Easter. The most holy, one of the most holy days in the Christian religion because Christ rose from the dead.
Yeah.
All right. This bag of shit. What is his name here? Edwin R.I. Everybody's innocent until proven guilty. R.I.O.S. 38.
Rios.
Allegedly followed this woman into the building and violently attacked her.
Zanona Ramos.
Right.
That was her name. I guess.
Yeah.
That's her name.
She couldn't do anything. She has diabetes. Oh my God, it's terrible. And it goes on and on. So here's the thing. In review of the network, remember stated she pleaded with the stabber. According to the sources, the elderly was covered in blood and she was knocked on the floor. So poor, So let's talk about this individual. The authorities have stated that this guy, Ramos, is also being charged with many counts of assault in addition to being in possession of a weapon illegally and harassing others. So let me see. He was on parole for a crime that occurred in October of 2012 in which he pursued a woman who was 22 years old off of a bus in Queens and stabbed her in the back twice.
Why is he on the street?
In addition, he was convicted of arson in 2013. So the documents indicate his parole schedule ended in 2024. So so 12. Hey, he attacked a 20-year-old and stabbed her. This guy, and he stabbed again. Well, this is what it is. We're letting these people out. You could get so this is another one. This is go on and on. You could go back, get me out of here. Yeah. You could go back and back, Jeremy. When we do this, you should put me in the bottom there. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's just going on and on and on and on. I'm trying to see where you know what gets me though. Again, this is another situation where I see these young guys beating up on old people. There was a guy who parked his car in a gasoline station up in New York City. I have the article somewhere. He's in his 60s. He parks there all the time. He pays $10 to the gasoline people, station owners. See, houses, apartments, real close. Well, evidently, he went there, and somebody called the tow truck. It was a misinformation somewhere along the line. Yeah. tow truck come, guy's like young, in his 30s. The old man, gets in an argument with the young guy. Probably says, "Hey, I'm here all the time. This is bullshit. Don't I didn't hear anything in the article that he hit him or anything, the old guy. But the young guy punched the old guy, knocked him down on the ground, killed him. Knocked him out. One punch.
One punch.
One punch, dead. That's it. So now let me ask you this. So if is a punch a deadly, because I have friends who say, "Oh, it's no big deal." It's on and on and on. So do you have the right, if somebody comes out, well, this guy had a knife. So she had a gun. She had the right to shoot him. But New York City, not allowed to carry a gun. Not allowed to defend yourself.
Yeah.
She could have you know what? If she would have ended taxpayer money. She would have shot that guy and killed him. That would have been the end of it. He's buried in the ground. I guarantee he'll never stab anybody else again.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, I don't want to call for violence, but I mean, here's the thing, Jeremy. What's going to happen is if you don't have justice, what follows is anarchy. And after anarchy is vigilantism. And you don't want that. I can tell you don't want that. So anyway, I thought that was, terrible. That was just terrible. So, and I know we want to talk about, digress, but we'll talk about this transgender stuff at the end. I want to go, this is another one. Let me see, elevator, apartment. I wanted to talk about one other thing. So this poor woman in the elevator, it was terrible. So let's get rid of her here. So we have another one here. So in New York City, it's getting bad and bad. There was actually a guy who was bitten by a rat. Did you hear this one?
No.
You gotta love this one. Hang on, let me get rid of this one here. This guy was, you gotta pull this one up. Hang on.
Where was he?
New York City.
No, I mean where in New York City?
In the toilet bowl. Yeah, go to the video. This
He
is
was
another
sitting
one.
on the toilet?
No, so man, 76-year-old bitten by toilet rat is hospitalized with organ failure due to bacterial infection. This is just a couple days ago. Real-life mutant saw rat turned out to be far less friendly than the cartoon version known to lurk in the Big Apple sewers with his 4 turtle sons. Evidently, the rat problem in New York City is out of control. But, everything else is out of control. So New York City's, great place. The mayor, you got the new mayor, you got the DA, but they're going to, so anyway.
I think you're missing the most important.
He was trying to fish out the rat.
Most important question.
What?
Where exactly did he bite him?
I think on his hand. He says 76-year-old man was trying to fish the rat out of the toilet when the furry critter bit 2 of his fingers. I guess they come out of the toilet. They go up the pipe.
Oh, my God. I got a new nightmare.
So he got sick, and he recovered supposedly, but he was in God bless you, he was in pretty bad shape. And it goes on and on and on and on. He had interestingly enough, what he had was a specific organism. And let me just go, it talks about here. They finally got a culture on him. This is from so they ran blood and urine tests and found that the man had leptospirosis, which is a bacterial infection that is often transmitted to humans by animals like rats and can be fatal in rare cases. You get really sick. You don't want to get bit by a rat. Let's put it that way. And as bacteria. So the bacteria is found in the urine of animals, and doctors believe that the rat may have had a mouthful of contaminated urine when he bit the finger. So yeah, rat was probably peeing on. He probably had it all over himself because he was in the water. It's disgusting. This is what you have in New York City. So you have rats coming out of the toilet bowl.
It doesn't surprise me though. Does it surprise you?
New York City's going down the tubes, man. Listen, when you start, everything goes. Everything's going. The garbage, the rats, letting people walk around, the subways, they got National Guard. Go back to me, Jeremy. They got National Guard in the subways, and they took their guns away from them. That's the funny thing. They had AR-15s, and the governor of New York didn't want to have the National Guard have guns because it gave a poor impression. We're so goddamn stupid. So what's going to happen next? The criminals are going to go down. So what's in it? You can't shoot them. I guess I don't even know if they have handguns.
I was watching.
I think it's pretty funny.
I was watching this couple react to a scene from All in the Family with Archie Bunker.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
And Archie was talking about gun control.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he's going off, and it's just like, oh my God, this is like everything that we're talking about today.
Yeah.
And then you get this realization that we've had these problems since, that was the 70s, okay? These problems were happening then. We were saying the same stuff then, and it's all these decades later, and we still don't know what the frick to do.
Well, there's a with the young kids breaking in around here. We're going to talk about that right now, and the violence in the inner cities, kids killing kids. It's nothing new.
But putting it in that perspective, seeing that everything that you and I talk about every week here, they were complaining about the same stuff in the 70s,
right.
60s.
Yeah, they were. There's a movie called Young Savages where young kids kill young kids.
Yeah.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
And it's racial, it's economic.
Not a thing has changed. And even like when you talk about things like what was that thing that Al Gore did? The
climate stuff.
Yeah, climate change and all of that. I was watching some videos of politicians back in the 70s and 60s talking about climate change. And they said, oh, in the next 20 years, the world's going to be underwater.
Yeah.
They made all these predictions.
Oh,
and it's well over that now.
Yeah.
And still nothing has happened.
Yeah. Let me see. Bro, you have one person watching your podcast, and it's me. Looks at your chat. Your weird. I can't. There's nothing there. There's nothing in the chat. No. Go down here. Comment. Nothing. Bobby's watching us. Bobby, you're only give us send a comment. Send a comment. Anyway, we're talking about the crime. It's nothing new. You're absolutely right. Years ago in the 60s, you had young kids killing young kids, and it doesn't end. It doesn't end. But we can't. You got to have police be able to arrest people. You have to have people go to jail or have some kind of penalties. There has to be justice. I don't want to say ruin their lives, but you can't just let somebody out and go back out and hurt other people. And it's hard. You don't want to lock people up for the rest of their lives because they can reform. I think where there's a lot of room for people to get better and change their ways is when they're young, 14, 15, 16 years old, 17. You can put him into a center and try to get him, re-educate him. Maybe is the best word, but there are things you could do for that, and I'm all for that. These repeat offenders, though, that's a whole different story. Now, this guy who beat up this woman, he should go to jail for, 50 years. He shouldn't be out. He stabbed a girl who was 22 years old back in 2012. Who knows what he did or got away with that we don't know about? And now he beat up some old lady in the elevator and stabbed her. That's no good. So, 50 comments. I don't know. We're having a problem here with our comments thing. We got, hang on a second. Let's see. We have people telling us that we're not, our Instagram is not coming up. We're going to work on that. Sorry, people out there. Hey, Jeremy, just hit our, see if we're still on Instagram here. Comments. I don't know why. Put all comments. For some reason, it's not coming up. I don't know what it is. No comments or reactions. Last time we had the comments. Just go up to.
No comment 0.
Yeah, I don't see anything here. Let me have the thing for a second. Sorry, everyone. Let me just see something here. So we usually are able to have comments going here, and for some reason we don't have anything coming up. We're gonna have to work on that.
Yeah. Let's continue with the show, though.
Yeah, we have to continue on. We're not getting anything. Here you go. Sorry about that, everyone. So, Jeremy, I want to just make a point.
Yeah.
That's good that we brought it up. We have to check on that. We must have some technical difficulty here. The thing I wanted to make a point about is that you make a point. Things have been happening for years and years and years. But here's the thing. We know how to fix these things. We know they're going to happen. If you take police away, you're going to have more crime. If you forget about even taking the police away, if you don't have consequences of the crimes of what you do, it's going to increase. People are going to feel emboldened. I don't care. I'm not going to get jammed up. And we talk about politics. So they put the National Guard in the subways because it's so bad. Think about it. A liberal Democrat. What's the matter? Liberal Democrat put somebody in. It's so bad they had to put people in the subways. What's the matter? You want the fan on? Yeah. Put it over there. Put the switch right there. And it's that bad. So anyway. And they take the guns away, so they worry about the politics of it. It's so stupid,
Yeah. See, I get so disillusioned though when you do your research from back in the day, and then And then you realize that everything people were complaining, other guys like you and me back then, news guys.
Yeah, they made movies about it, Jeremy. They made
And
movies about it.
it was all the same stuff. We know what to do, like you said.
Right.
We know what we need to do, but we won't ever do it. Ever.
No, we will. You can't say that. Don't.
And the situation. Wait, hold on a second. And what we're talking about today, they'll still be talking about in 40 years.
You don't know that. We may not be here in 40 years. We may have a revolution in this country. We may have a war. Things could change. My point is that
if ifs and buts were fruit and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas.
No, just because it hasn't happened doesn't mean it's not going to happen. No, just because it hasn't happened doesn't mean it's not going to happen. We things could change. Things change slowly, and only when people want. Now in New York City, they're losing tons of income. People don't want to go into subways; they're scared. When just like with all of these immigrants coming into the city, they opening up these shelters. It's becoming a real issue. So somebody should do something about it. Fentanyl overdoses. We go on and on. I want to talk about one other thing because
no. Since then, with all the problems they were having then that are similar to today, right? Are we better off today than we were back then?
It's hard to say. We're still, there's so many things. Are we better with medicine? People make more money.
No, I mean, like with the
technology.
government and how the country was being run.
I think we were better off 3 years ago. But
70s.
Yeah, I mean,
80s.
I tell you what, the 90s I thought were pretty good.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good time to live. I think back in the 70s and before that, you didn't have as much governmental involvement. You can make a lot of money. I think it was a lot better back then as far as entrepreneurism. But, it's a hard one to calculate because there are other things now. You could make big money opening up a manufacturing plant. Here you could make big money online having some kind of app or something. So it's changed.
But I do think that what it really comes down to is us. One of us has to go out and do something different to offset everything that's just in some sort of vicious cycle of constantly repeating. So we need to get ourselves up, vote people out, do something. If you're looking at yourselves at home, and you're not doing anything, you're not even talking about it or anything, do something.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, a lot of people won't vote. But even if they do vote, they feel like there's nothing's going to happen. And then there's a bigger machine going on.
Well, I mean, when you really think back all those decades ago, who can blame anybody for thinking nothing's going to happen?
No, I think what your point is this, and I think it's a good point. We have not evolved. We have not changed.
That's it, bud. Yeah.
For the past, and I give you even better, not for the past 20 years, 30 years, for the past 4,000 years. Go back 2,000 years, 2,000 years when Christ walked the earth, or even before that, 4,000 years. We were still raping, we're killing, greed, everything that, the Bible talks about. We're sinners, we're bad people.
Self-destructive.
Right, we're self-destructive, and that's why some people think that the future is going to be AI, that it's going to take over everything and make us good. Human beings are complex. Human beings are violent to a large degree. Look at the world right now. I mean, you got the Russia-Ukraine war. 300,000 men died there, maybe more. Israel, Hamas. How many thousands and thousands of people are dying there, and that's on the verge of exploding. You got genocide. You got genocide in go back just in recent history. Hitler, killed 8 million Jews.
Oh, yeah.
Cambodia, 2 million. They killed each other. Mao, responsible in the Chinese Revolution, maybe anywhere between 30 to 60 million. Stalin, 20 million of his own people. World War II. I think 50 million people died. I could go on and on and on. More people die from genocide than probably war. And then how many people OD from drugs? How many people, are killed because of, inappropriate drug medication or, car accidents or, reckless driving? You go on and on and on. It's a brutal, rough world. It's just somebody...
and in 2040, okay, when the AI computer takes over...
Yeah.
All right, and realizes the real problem with the world.
He'll kill everybody.
Humans are in it.
Get rid of everybody.
Yeah.
Get rid of everybody.
Wipe the slate clean.
They had I was just watching this thing. He talked about tragedy. It was one of the cruise ships. Just I guess it was just today I saw it.
Really?
Kid jumped off the balcony. They were in the jacuzzi, all drunked up. the father started giving the kid a hard time about him being drunk, and supposedly he said, "I'll fix that," and he just jumped off the friggin' railing, and he's gone. Very unlikely they're going to find him. And was it suicide? Was it just drunken stupor? I don't know. But
I think that was a drunken suicide. That's what I think it was.
I want to talk about this because we have to we got a hard stop at 11 o'clock. We have Barbara Schneider coming in.
If somebody's drunk and they want to commit suicide, right?
Yeah.
Should we support the fact that they're drunk? They decided to be that?
No.
I mean, but that's how ridiculous the world is.
No. I'm just saying is that people kill themselves left and right.
Shit like that, man. It's so...
Go over here to this. I want to just talk about this. Yeah. So we live in Ocean County. Go to the YouTube. Yeah.
And we're Pundits.
So here you go. Overnight burglary, theft crimes in Ocean County. So this is ongoing. Monmouth and Ocean County and the rest of the whole state. It's getting out of control, and I've never seen so many break-ins. So Toms River, that's where we live. That's where we're broadcasting right now. Are investigating 3 crimes that occurred overnight in Toms River. So this is North Dover section. That's where I live. This is unprecedented. Forget about. Usually have one here and there. So this is in April, around April 4th. This is April. What's today? Today is the 6th. At 3:06 a.m., 4 unknown suspects, all wearing dark clothing and face coverings, forced their way into a front door of a home in Reynolds Ave. The suspects removed over $100,000 of jewelry, cameras, while the homeowner slept. So now they're breaking into homes while you're there. Now, I'm going to make a point. I want to stop and say, first of all, arm your house, have it alarmed.
Yeah.
But when these people are going to start they go into the wrong house, somebody has a gun.
Yeah.
Because now you've broken into a house.
If you're going to rob my house, at least let me have a good night's sleep.
But they're breaking into your house while this is at night now. It is believed that the same suspects left the home and went to Brentwood Ave, where they started the engine of an Audi that was parked in the driveway. How'd they do that? I don't know. The suspects left the car running in the driveway at 3:30 a.m. and went to another home in Brentwood Ave. Homeowners from the third home were woken at around 3:37 a.m. with sounds coming from the backyard of the home. Police said the suspect forced their way into the home by breaking a downstairs rear window. However, they were scared off when the homeowner woke. It is unknown at this time if any items were removed from the home. So I want to make a point about these things. This is so bad on a lot of levels. Okay, Jeremy, you could go back to me.
Sure thing.
And what I'm saying is this. It's one thing you break into somebody's house, they're not home, which is bad enough. But your home is your castle. When you're sleeping upstairs with your kids or your grandkids or whatever, and these idiots are breaking into the house. Now, they may be young kids, maybe innocent, maybe they think it's fun. That's a fundamental, huge, big thing. Yeah. But here's the thing. A lot of these kids know that nothing could happen. If you shoot somebody in your house and they're unarmed, you're going to go to jail.
Right.
I mean, you got squatters coming in. So, these people need to be caught, and they need to spend 30 years. You break into somebody's house is 20 years. They got to know you break into somebody while they're at home. That's crazy, man. That's dangerous. And I can tell you, what happens when, like, you walk they're in your house, you walk down, and there's 3 kids in there, and they get scared, and they push you or punch you, and you hit the floor and crack your head open.
Oh, yeah.
Or they grab a knife and stab you. Go watch the old reruns of Dragnet. I know it sounds funny, right? But it happens all the time. A burglary that went wrong, where the person in the house startled the robbers, and the robbers killed them.
The names have been changed to save the innocent.
To cover. You know what I'm saying? This has to stop. Because I can tell you, mark my words, the next time we're going to be on it, you're going to see somebody shot poor 15-year-old kid shot to death, whoever these burglars. Now I don't know if these are kids.
See, that's what I love about this show. We get just the facts.
Well, I can tell you right now, if you're wearing dark clothes and face coverings and you come in my house and I'm sleeping upstairs.
So you got a dress code.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm coming down.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna end well.
I gotta tell you, if a guy came in a tutu and a friggin' AK-47,
well, that's gonna stun me.
I'm gonna be equally as threatened.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'll die with a confused look on my face. But yeah, I'll consider that just as threatening.
My point here is that this is happening in a very affluent area, and it's happening more and more. This is just one article that I'm telling you about. This has been going on now for months and months and probably years. It's getting worse and worse. Why? The question is why. You got these liberal laws. Okay, you know, if the kids get, if I did call the cops and they came here and arrested those guys, they'd be out in there's no bail. They'd be out in 2 hours, 3 hours. I don't know if they'd spend any time in jail. And then they go to court, you know, and if they're underage, who knows what's going to happen. So they think they get away with it. Now, you know, they're going to go into the wrong house and they're going to get the shit beat out of them. Or worse, they're going to get killed. And I don't want to see that either. You know, I mean, and so what I'm telling people out there is, number one, what do? Put lights all around your house. Get security lights. They go on, you know, with the movement, motion detectors.
Yeah.
Light your place up. That's number one. Number two is, like for your garage door opener, garage, you know, that little thing you pull down, you know, you don't have a garage. Take that off. Get a burglar alarm system. You know, the thing
is, these guys
don't leave your key fob. Don't leave your garage door opener in your car. Yeah. Bring it in. Get a burglar alarm system. Alarm it at night.
And also, do not leave valuables next to the front door. So many times in Brick and Tom's River, these kids got into this habit of just kicking the door in, grabbing whatever's near, and then running. Okay, but you can lose your car, you can lose whatever you got, you know, in your wallet, your bag, everything.
Well, I can tell you, this is getting bad and bad. And
they'll kick your door in, grab your stuff before you even know what's going on.
I used to be in California, so now they're breaking into homes. Yeah. And now I don't know if these guys had guns, but so now you go downstairs and they got a gun and you startle them and they shoot you. So then what as a homeowner, should I have, you know, my gun? Or, you know, should you have a gun and go down, lock and load it? Should you hide underneath your beds to pull the kids? What should we do? Hunker in the closet?
Would you even be allowed to shoot them?
Not unless they're in the state of New Jersey. No, I mean, you don't have a duty to retreat. You don't have a duty to retreat. But you know, if they go in there and they're like, you know, unless they threaten you, they could be stealing everything. You got to call the cops. You know, but you know, where's that fine line?
Your life could also be threatened if they're there to rob you. Yeah, they're there to potentially hurt you if you get in the way. Yeah, I'm sorry. These are unknown people.
I know. It's a very shaky thing.
So if a guy comes in and his rap sheet is just robbery, I don't know that. It could be robbery, arson, you know, homicides. I don't know. So I'm going to protect myself against this unknown intruder.
Yeah.
Who's invaded my home with my family.
Right.
Between the eyes.
Yeah. I think what's going to happen is that there's more and more people going to get guns. New Jersey right now is, you know, people buying guns left and right, and they're getting their carry conceal. Yeah. And probably one way it's going to end these burglaries, and it's unfortunate, is that one of these burglars they're going to get shot. They're going to get shot, you know, blown up with a shotgun or something, and then it's going to get out in the news, and people are going to be like, "Holy shit! I go into these houses, I could get killed."
Yeah, but somebody needs to be horribly, like, just obliterated. Okay, the horror story needs to be so bad that it puts horror into their hearts, where they refuse to risk it. And as Mike was saying just before, lighting up your house, alarms, and all that. These guys only pick targets where they don't have to deal with all that bullshit. It's an easy house, in and out. That's what they look for, and they'll scope you out to find out what your habits are, and all of that stuff.
But Jeremy, no, I disagree with you on that one point.
What's that?
They're going into houses now with people who are there.
Yeah,
that's the huge thing. Here's the thing: most of the burglars used to be.
That's brazen.
Most of it used to be, and I did a research on this a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. Most of it's like in the morning, 10 to 3. People are not home. There's nothing going on. They'll bang on the door. If somebody's home, they're gone. Yeah. You know? Now, they're at the middle of the night when you're sleeping, the most protected time. I'm going to tell you right now, it's bullshit. You know, I'm telling people, buy a gun. And you know what? If they're downstairs, lock and load and go down there and protect. I mean, if I have kids, I can tell you, there's nothing more than we're just bears. You know, the bears, they kill people. It's mostly to protect their cubs. You get a woman.
When animals attack.
Right. Well, you come into a house with a woman who has her kids in there.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, and she kills these people, I'll be on the jury. I won't convict them. I'm in Ocean County.
No, I won't either. Put a badge on.
I mean, and these laws, these bail, but this is getting
put her in charge of neighborhood patrol.
Yeah, and I feel bad because a lot of these people who maybe are robbing these homes maybe are young kids, but this is a little bit different. This is masked people who did this. Yeah. Anyway, listen, we're gonna close up. I'm sorry for people out there on Instagram. For some reason, our comments section is not working. I don't know what's going on. We didn't do that purposely. It's on, and I don't know what the deal is. We're gonna play with that, and So was there a post there, Jeremy? Hit that. Go with Instagram.
Instagram's not on here.
Post to 3 destinations. Cannot post in. I don't know what's going on. Facebook, Instagram for some reason. So it says we couldn't post there. See, I don't know what's going on. We have an issue. Yeah. Anyway, listen, we want to say goodbye to everyone. Thank you for tuning in. We did a short show today. It went pretty fast. We talk about a lot of crazy stuff.
We did a pretty full show. Yeah.
Let me get my music on here. And anything else, Jeremy, you want to talk about?
No. I'm so proud of my boy making it into Harvard. We're going to be lording that over everybody we know.
Yes.
And
Yes, it's good. I don't know why my music's... What's going on here, Jeremy? There it is. All right, everyone. Listen, Harvard, yes, Harvard bound. Yes. We're going to get hoodies. Everyone, this has been Dr. Michael Kachmar, Scrubbing Up with Dr. Michael Kachmar. You can get a hold of us at... go to our webpage, JerseyShoreFootAndLegCenter.com, JerseyShoreFootAndLegCenter.com. You can also find us on YouTube. Please subscribe. We're on Rumble also. You can send us an email at drkachmar@icloud.com, drkachmar@icloud.com. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Take care. Bye.
For more information about Dr. Michael Kachmar and all the things we talk about on this wonderful show, please go to JerseyShoreFootAndLegCenter.com. Thanks, everybody. You take care.